right, good afternoon. Hope everyone's family has remained safe throughout all this stuff that we've all been experiencing. It feels good to be back after a good victory. I thought our guys did a great job of playing hard and playing fast and finding a way to get ourselves across that finish line together. So with that said, I'm all ears.
Eric, first of all, I hope your family's doing well as well, but a lot of the conversation has been about the drops that you guys have had. Beyond just coaching the fundamentals of it, you mentioned a few weeks ago that you don't tell guys not to fumble all the time because that's all they think about. So how do you approach the drops part of that?
Well, here's the thing. You go back to just what we just said, the fundamentals of it. You get guys on the jugs machines before practice and after practice, and then you just let them know, hey, it ain't like we're going to stop throwing you the football. Things happen in this league, and unfortunately, it seems like we've gone through a whirlwind of things that have taken place. But the thing that I appreciate about our guys is that they've found a way to overcome the adversity and stick through it together. And these guys are very resilient in how they handle themselves, and they understand exactly what it takes to be at the top of their game. So they're going to continue maximizing every opportunity we step out on that practice field together.
Coach, you said a few weeks ago that the Chiefs were beating the Chiefs. How close do you feel like your group is to maybe breaking through that offensively?
Well, every week I feel I feel very good. But the thing is sometimes throughout a course of a game, it's going to be some adverse situations. And here's the thing that I appreciate, that I can look at and get a good gauge on is how our guys handle the situation. Our guys have done a great job of handling all the situations that have been presented to them. And I told you guys this throughout the season, the early part of the season, is if our guys are doing a great job of handling those situations, those things are going to pay dividends for us moving forward. Now, we all would like for us to go out there and play the perfect game, but it's hard being perfect, especially when you're playing against the opponents that we're playing against. These guys get paid too. But we expect our guys to be at their best. But if you're not at your best, that's okay. We're going to keep fighting to achieve that goal, to get to the level of play that we need to continue to strive for.
You mentioned the handling situations. McCullough Hardman's snap counts over the last 3 games have diminished rapidly. Nine snaps this past week, a season low. How has he handled the decrease in playing time, and how do you keep his confidence up?
You know what? I thought McCole did a great job last week, and I know he only played 9 plays, but those 9 plays, he played fast, he played hard, and he was productive when given the opportunity to do so. So the only thing that you continue to do is to make sure that these guys understand that every play is by far the most important play. Everything that we do, whether we're meeting and everything that we do in that practice field is by far the most important thing that you would do. So we just need to make sure that all of our guys are on the same page and everybody's working to get better. But the kid is doing a great job of just not taking the little things for granted, and I appreciate what he's doing.
You're one of the guys that hold these players accountable when they go through those adverse situations, like the play of Tyreek last week when he missed the pass. And what is that? How are you holding these guys accountable? When you have a guy like Tyreek that something goes through something like that.
Well, regardless, and the thing is these guys understand that I coach hard and I coach fair, and I always tell them I'm going to be your harshest critic, but I'm also going to be your biggest fan. And the reason why I coach that way because I know what they're capable of doing, and so when those guys make mistakes, I just want them to understand that, hey, you know what? Obviously, we don't want you making a mistake. It's okay that you made the mistake. Now, what are we going to do from here on out to amend that mistake? And so life happens. It's just like dealing with anything. And I tell these guys, hey, throughout the course of life, you're going to experience a lot. And how you handle it is going to determine, what type of person that you're going to become. And so the thing that I love, and you hate to say it this way, is that we've been faced with so much adversity. But the thing that I love about it is that our guys have shown a resiliency to overcome it and find a way to get it done. And that's all that matters, is making sure that we're getting across the line together. And if you got a team of guys doing that, the sky can be the limit this season.
It's funny you say, because you talked about accountable, you talked about the lack of number of plays in the Palmer. But what about Josh Gordon? I know when when he came, there were a lot of high hopes. I know, I think one press conference you talked about the coaching staff might not be doing the best. I want to choose my words carefully, but have you all failed Josh Gordon, or have you failed you all in what we're seeing or not seeing with him and the contribution that he's bringing to the team?
I don't think anyone has failed Josh. Josh has been playing a number of snaps. It's just unfortunate that the ball hasn't been going his way. Josh is doing a heck of a job of blocking on the perimeter. You see him actively involved out there on the field. So the thing is, yes, we would love for Josh to have the numbers, okay? But for whatever reason, it has not happened. And so our faith and belief have not gone anywhere. We still believe in him. And here's the thing that I love about him, because this is why I know he's making the growth that he's making, is the energy that he brings every single day, all right, on that practice field or in that classroom, the questions that he's asking to make sure that he's doing the right things. And so the thing that, and I'll remind you guys of this, is, what we do in this building, it's all about the culture. Because one thing, it's not about the numbers, and I want everybody to understand that it's not about the numbers. Ideally, we would love for everyone to have some outstanding numbers, okay? But when it's all said and done with, it's about the alphabets, okay? At the end of the day, are we winning or are we losing? Our guys are doing a great job of finding ways to win games, and that's all that matters. So he's a part of our culture. He's a part of who we are. And so winning cures everything. So to answer your question, no, Josh has been a great success story for us, and he's helping us to achieve the goals that we want to achieve.
Andy earlier this week mentioned penalties along with the drops. You guys have had more holding penalties during the second half of this 12-game season so far. Is there any trend you're noticing? Is that due to some experience, obviously, with the rookies sort of understanding what is correct in terms of holding?
Well, I mean, Coach Heck has done a heck of a job with those guys. It's unfortunate. I mean, if you go around any team or around the league, you probably can call holding on everybody across the league. It's unfortunate that we've been called, but those things happen. Obviously, you don't want it to happen, but you know what? Life happens. The thing that we just want to make sure is that we're minimizing the mistakes, all right, to keep us from overcoming the hurdles that we have to overcome. But we just want guys to focus in on the details and the fundamentals that are required for them to be great, and also, too, to keep us ahead on down and distances.
Coach, what do you expect out of the Raiders? I mean, their backs are against the wall. They gave up a bunch of points to you game one.
It's hard for me to say Las Vegas. I was just getting ready to say the Oakland Raiders. It's the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. So those guys will be fired up, and regardless of what has taken place with them throughout the course of the season, these guys are going to come out here and play their best, because this is a huge rivalry game, There's no lack of love, as we should say, for each other. But one thing I do know, those guys play hard. And, watching those two pass rushers get up the field all the time and what those guys are doing in the back end, I mean, this is going to be one of those challenges for us that we just got to make sure that we're doing everything the right way to give us the best opportunity to be at our best. And when it's all said and done with, the only thing that matters, is at the end of the game, what does that clock say? Okay? Does it say Chiefs win? And if that's the case, we'll feel better about what we've done.
Before you go, I'm going to ask you about coaching in college, but some of your contemporaries, Deion Sanders, Eddie Georgia now, Hugh Jackson is going to be the head coach down at Grambling State. How do you, of course, in the NFL, but what's that say about the play of black college football and some of these professionals, some of your contemporaries going down and helping build that legacy?
Says a lot. I mean, hey, HBCUs, baby, you know what I mean? They've been around for a long time. There's been some great players as well as great students and great people who have come from those historical campuses. And so it's great to see those guys coaching at those particular places. I'm a fan of football, so I'll be watching all of them when it's all said and done with. All right.
You mentioned the adversity earlier, and with adversity can oftentimes come emotions and flare-ups. And it looked like Patrick had a little bit of that after that punt in the fourth quarter. How do you handle it when your quarterback comes to the sideline and he's a little hot like that? How do you handle it? What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, there's always spirited conversation that takes place on the sidelines, and you can see that throughout the course of any team. But sometimes, things happen where, because of the competitive nature of the game, guys just want answers now. Hey, I felt this, I felt that. And then once that is all expressed, you get past it. But the beauty of it is the relationships that are built and the relationships that are established. So once you get past that, hey, you know what? We could have did this, or I could have did this, or he could have did this. We just need to make sure that when we're on the sideline, we're not interrupting the flow of everyone else. And so that's the important thing. So, but with that said, I appreciate all of our players and all of their passion and their drive to want to be the best. That's what makes us special, and that's who we are.
One quick question, if you don't mind, about you didn't have Andy Heck Sunday night. How did you feel like Corey and the guys managed to fill in for him?
You know what? I thought Coach Matei did a hell of a job. Coach Matei we've been here now for, 9 seasons together, and I'm not shocked nor surprised with the job that he did. And he's an outstanding coach. On top of that, he's an outstanding person, and the guys played hard for him. They went out and did a great job. Unfortunately, we didn't have Coach Heck, and it's great having Coach Heck back because now, that spirit is back in the building. But that's what happens when you have a head coach like we do, who surrounds himself not only with great people, but also a great coaching staff that understands the people that they're working with. Okay? Thank you. You guys have a great day.